I've done, and I've been in Big Sioux for 23 years, is any time any aquifer comes up for sale, I buy it. When have you ever lost money buying land? And test it either before or after, preferably buy it first because you get it at a lower price, and then you find it's a gem. Once you have those wells out there, try and buy as much land as possible, because even CRP, what do? We actually bribe landowners into putting their land into CRP if we've got a well there too, because it's very easy to contaminate. The good thing is that you have the ability to blend down the nitrates at the same time as blending down your radon. So you've got the best of both worlds. If I have a high nitrate problem, I have no way of blending it down. So from that standpoint, having two different aquifers you're playing with, both with potential issues, you can blend them both.
Okay.
Are you saying that we could blend 6 and 7 enough to make a usable combination?
That's why we have HMOs.
And talking about you have a radon problem in your Split Rock Creek well.
Yep.
Okay. We don't know what the nitrates are. Actually, the statewide network would suggest, at least locally, maybe this is a big issue. The real potential problem in the Big Sioux aquifer would be nitrates.
Yes.
Well, you've got low nitrate, presumably low nitrate Split Rock Creek.
Right.
To blend with low radon Big Sioux. Radium. All right. It glows in the dark. You've got problems with both. You mix them together, the levels come down. That's what
Right.
he's saying.
Good marriage.
So it doesn't
Jason,
have
you had a
to-
question?
Yeah. 6 and 7 are both in the
But Tim was saying we didn't have enough to replenish, to recharge, to make blending 6 and 7 possible.
You don't right now. You got one in the Big Sioux.
If you're
Maybe I'm
They're
mis-
both.
Yeah, so
sorry.
the problem you'll have is the ratio you're now coming from each option.
oh, I'm sorry.
If it's just a 50-50 mix and you're using well 7, you're probably still not going to get well 7 diluted down
No.
to what it needs
That's
to be.
yeah.
So you have to make sure you've got the right ratio of Big Sioux to Split Rock Creek, and then you
Yeah,
don't know
oh,
when
I'm
you're.
sorry, Jeff.
And hopefully the nitrates are low in the Big Sioux. Otherwise, if they're both high, you're going to have a problem.
Jason.
I've done
Yeah,
that.
I just had a question on well 7. Do we have to bring well 7 to the plant yet? Or when we were talking about running it through the different media and we're going to get about an 80% reduction, is that at the well itself? Is that where that takes
The
place?
blending takes place at the
At the
site, yes.
And the well's already connected to the
It is
plant?
not.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
It is not.
No.
Capped off right next to well 6, which can't even get to the plant because the well 8 project got stopped. The
Yep.
well 7 line was supposed to come and meet the well 8 line to blend those two, then take it to the plant.
Okay. And so how much is that? Like linear foot? How much pipe has to go?
I don't know, it's over, I would guess, John, do you remember what the footage was for the well? The pipeline to get to the.
About another 1,500 feet. Well,
Let's
6
say over
and
1,000.
7, hang on. Well, 6 and 7 are connected to the plant. They just are valved off at this point.
Let's just say they have to be, because that's where the HMO process is
We
at.
have the intention to extend another raw water line so that we can bring just 6 or just 7 to the plant. That's what hasn't happened.
Okay. Because that's, I was going to say, the HMO process is at the plant. And right now, they're testing well 7 with the HMO process. So that's
Well,
being done at the
6.
plant. We're not using it,
We're not using
but it is being
We're not using
tested.
7 at all.
No, right,
No, I
right.
know, we're not drinking it, but you are establishing a baseline test, is that
But
correct?
where they just got their sample from 7 was actually out at the well.
I understand that, yep, I understand that.
Yeah, and
Didn't
I'll
take it to the plant.
But to answer your question, yes, it is, that pipe does come to the plant. It's going into the HMO process as we speak.
No.
It is
No,
not coming.
no.
No.
It's not. No well 7 water is in the plant at all.
Right.
There's
So
none.
where is this, the treated water, well 7?
There is a treated well.
There is a raw water line that gets to the plant.
Right.
It's connected from well 7, it's connected near well 6.
Yes.
Right. The valve shut off.
Right.
So if we close one valve and open the other, we can run well 7 to the plant through the existing raw water line. The intent is to extend another raw water line up to the plant as part of
And that's another 1,500 feet? Is that what you were saying, that 1,500 feet is?
May I ask a question related to the water as it is? If it is treated, well 7, what does that do to the number of the gross alpha? What does that drop that number to? So it would take it from this raw number that we have on this report from 53.1. Once that water is treated at the plant, it would drop below the 15.
Roughly 12.
11.
11.
And it depends, if we blended it all with one, it drops lower.
But that's all theoretical, because we're not, I was under the assumption you were establishing a baseline with that well 7 water right now.
Well 6 water.
Right.
So we're using well
We're
6.
using well
Oh,
6.
I know that, but
We're
I'm talking
using
about
well
well,
6
To test.
create the best baseline.
Yes.
We already know what the radius
that's
is.
where I misunderstood. I thought you were using well 7 to establish that baseline and not,
Well 7
Okay.
hasn't been turned on, power shot,
Okay.
control.
Where does the radium go? Like, so we're catching it and we're taking it.
Right.
Where do we put it?
Sewer.
wastewater.
Backwash into the sources.
Which then goes to Sioux Falls.
And then it goes back into the Sioux River.
Kumatata, it's a whole big, you know.
So are there communities that have gross alphas like well 7 with raw water that are being treated for usable, consumable drinking waters in the United States?
Yes, and actually, I think these guys brought up a good example out of the west end of the state. They're much higher than that, much higher than that. And there's, this is actually a manageable level, if you want to call it that, from an HMO standpoint. And then also, and HMO treatment plus blending. Believe me, to me, the blending is our least cost option, and that's what we would like to do going forward.
So I just want to clear up what Jason asked, because I heard that it's capped off before it gets to the plant, and then I heard that it's a valve and it's attached to the plant. So which is it? Because I've got the city administrator, and I've got the city administrator and the water treatment plant guy saying it's not attached to the plant, it's capped, and I've got the city engineer saying that it is valved off. So which is it?
It's not physically connected to the plant. It's connected to near the well 6's line coming.
a T intersection,
It's connected,
Right.
it's just a valve that.
Connected to 6, but not
it's a
the
T
plant?
intersection, right?
So water
With it
can
closed off.
physically go from 7 to the plant.
Yes.
Thank you.
If the valve is open.
Right.
If the valve is
But
open.
it's never been opened.
Electron things,
Thank you.
okay? There's a line that goes from 6 to the plant. Well 7 is right nearby, and in fairly short order could be hooked up to that pipe.
No, it's already hooked.
It's already hooked
There's
up.
a valve right here that's keeping it
That's
from being.
never been
Right.
turned off.
Never been opened up because we don't want to.
We have a set of plans that the construction project was completed. If you want to see the plans and the piping and the valving, we have that information.
We just want to understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because I misunderstood.
The point is, what it was saying, if we could get well 7 to the plant.
Right.
And we could treat that water to have it usable and consumable for the community of Brandon at a safe level.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me, Derek. What do you
No,
think
I'm
about
just
that?
asking, is, the question I heard was gross alpha. And I just spoke to John and asked, will that blending dilution work for the radium too?
Include the
And he said yes.
And we put together, we developed a plan to blend, well, 6, 7, and 1, and depending on the levels, since we got such a variation in levels in the radium, and gross alpha, that we were gonna start in the worst case scenario and work our way down once we do get to the point where we're using well 7.
So the great
And
thing
right
is
now,
if
there's a plan in place.
we don't spend the $30,000 to fix the well 6, then we won't have well 6 water to blend with 7, so then all bets are off.
Okay, I have a question.
It
I'm
shouldn't be
a
like
kind of
that.
a simple
I just
person.
want-
I
I
believe
just
in the
want them
KISS
to be
method.
able to
So just
keep it simple.
You made chocolate. Speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the very last slide that Derek presented this evening, it says some recommendations from a 1989 report that are still relevant to Brandon today. Among other things, benefits of a pipeline should be evaluated and included in the cost comparison of a local water supply. So to me, that means we need to explore MCWC's availability to us.
Yep.
So, the RFQ thing that Don presented at the city council meeting last night needs to move forward.
And it will. That
We
is
have
on
to
me.
have a
That's
work
my
study
fault. I
to
did
do
not
it.
It was
call-
not on the agenda.
I did not call Brian and put it physically on the agenda because of what has been going on in my personal life.
That's not on you.
It's on me. It is my fault. And I take complete blame for
No,
it.
I just want to.
It will be, now here's my thing, my caveat to that. It will be at the next council meeting.
Okay,
It will not make a difference whether it was on last night or next meeting because all water projects are on hold right now.
right.
So
Doesn't make sense. I'm still lost because you have to have a work study to put out
and
RFP,
we're gonna
RFQ,
come up
right?
with that over the next 2 weeks before the next council meeting.
We are?
Like, create a resolution, write a motion that they would approve.
We're gonna have,
Not all the
I'm assuming we're gonna have
specifics.
options. This is what I wanna talk to Brian and Paul about and get their input on this. We're gonna have maybe options. You
A
know, do
detailed-
we make it a dollar amount? Do we make, you know,
But that,
what is
still,
it?
we're
Valves,
not,
towers?
what are we
treatment plants?
asking them to, what project are we asking them to do?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know yet. We're gonna.
Okay,
we're
but then
gonna
you can't
discuss
do an RFP, RFQ until you have that project. It's the egg and the chicken problem.
What I'm saying is we're going to probably, like the way it exists in our other decisions, it'll be a dollar amount. Anything above 50,000 needs to go out for an RFQ, or whatever that number may be. And maybe someone, again, that's where I think, you know, maybe Brian or Paul has a better suggestion, but that's one thought I have.
I think using a dollar amount is difficult because you have to have the scope of work to come up with some sort
What
of
it's gonna cost?
estimate.
Right.
Yeah, so until you have that, it really just, I think the easiest way to do it would be to just define a specialized project that you would want, or the committee, or whoever would come up with. You know, if this is just for finding alternate water sources, then that's what it is.
That's our,
Yeah. So
Scope.
what I'll do is I'll get a hold of other cities and see what they do and get some suggestions on how to go forward with this. But anyway, I don't want to get off track.
But to
the-
me, in the simplest form, our long-term plan is going to be a pipeline, the Big Sioux Aquifer, and the Split Rock Creek Aquifer. Correct? Is that is that a simple explanation of our potential water
sources?
sources?
Oh, water sources.
Water
Or-
sources.
Yeah.
That's like your only option.
If
Yeah.
you guys,
Okay.
if you guys remember in the presentation that we started out this
In
committee,
only.
what the recommendations were, was exactly that.
We have
You
those.
you just come back to square one. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
You got it.
Okay. So here's maybe some ideas for the next meeting. I hate to ask all these folks to come back into town. Maybe we can do a WebEx with a few. Maybe at the next meeting, do a WebEx, have some of them online to answer questions we have. And if we need another meeting to be directly in touch with another couple of these individuals, maybe we could do that. But we're well over our time limit as usual. And
So I guess
see-
one thing I'm gonna bring up real quick is Kim had mentioned breaking it up into subcommittees.
Right, I mean, just like this is just, I mean, this is so
It's-
much, and it's just, I mean,
I really think we need to do that. I mean, I think we need to set up a water conservation committee, pick people. I think we need to set up a committee that specifically attacks the RFQ, RFP. We're fortunate to have 3 extremely knowledgeable people right there. We've got another one sitting at the table over there. So why don't we break it up into bites we can chew? Because right now, this is getting to the point where we're doing everything and it's a waste.
I don't know that it's a waste
I don't
because
think
you've
it's a
got the
waste.
whole group of knowledge that
Right.
needs everybody. We
got it.
can't split just the engineers and send them over there to do one piece. The whole point was for all of us
Right.
together. And I know it's taking a lot of time, but that's kind of the point.
But we've got the information now. That's what I'm getting at, is
Do
we've
we have
done
it
the
all?
fact.
Well, no.
I don't
I don't
think so.
believe we do.
I think there's a lot more information to come. I also agree that committees are a good idea for this. I think that's a good idea.
What
At our next
information are we
meeting,
missing, I guess, is the piece.
Well, I
that
guess you
want.
got to look at a lot of different variables, Tim. And I appreciate the fact that we have the 3 separate components that we've discussed. A pipeline, the aquifers, well 7, all this stuff. If you get into all the different things like pipelines, I'm not an expert in chloramine treatment versus chlorine. Then we have to talk about, are we going to design a whole new treatment plant for the city of Brandon? I don't know how to do that.
Neither do I.
Okay, so then if we look at that, that's part of this complex issue. So I really think that we have to look at this as a
Big
broad
picture.
scope instead of this narrowed focus of what we're looking at right now, and take it to the council and say, yes, we need to do a water conservation project for the immediate
For
future.
sure.
Number 2, we need to explore the Big Sioux Aquifer. We need to look at number 7. And then do we need to look at changing long-term, like I've talked with Raleigh, on the treatment plant system? What are the cost benefits and the reactions to that? So we're not experts in any of that. I think we have to look at the big picture and then let the people who make the decisions make them. And I'm not an expert in any of those areas, and I don't claim to be. And I think that as we just need to go with the big picture piece and then make that recommendation to the council. That's what I think our role is here at this committee, not to hold anything up, but to make a big, broad recommendation that represents the community, not drill it all the way down. I don't think that's a good use of our time.
One of the things with that, on the idea of this conservation, something that we wanted to do, and it would be separating out, and I think the council is just also in the same situation. They've got so much that they can't do it all. They're wanting volunteers. So if anything, it'd be going to the council to say, if you can't do all of it, then you need to divide up committees then and have them come from the...
Yeah, that's why I agree as a council member. And the reason I keep saying that I'm glad we're here, because I don't know this stuff, and nobody up here knows this stuff. Nobody would. You have to be an expert. And
I think the conservation
It's a
subgroup
separate
is
piece.
something, because we
Correct.
know that that's our
Yes.
best line of defense coming
right,
into summer.
that can be immediate, right? Correct.
That
Get going
is.
on that.
But
Yeah.
that's different than splitting up all these
But
pieces.
there's a lot of information yet to be learned,
Right.
I think, and we've got to talk about cost of each solution or possible solution.
Do you think stopping this, I mean, and maybe it's not really the council where I've heard that, I'm concerned because the clock is ticking.
Yes.
And so that there absolutely cannot be a complete stop, I don't
Right.
believe, that, right? We have to
Right,
get
so that's
somebody-
what we talk about when we talk about this connection to MCWC. Technically, if everything's on hold, we can't do that, right?
There's never been
We
a
have to
motion or a
adjust-
vote to put anything on hold.
We have to address that. We have to address, who was it I was speaking with the other day? We have to address, I think it was the mayor, we have to address each of these issues as they come up. And if MCWC connection, if we want to get going on that, this month or next week, then we take that to the council and say, this is our recommendation. If we want to get going on drilling test holes out in the Big Sioux, we come to, for now, we have well 7 and well 8 on hold. Well 7 on hold being its use, coming into our homes as drinking water.
All the new stuff is stopped too, but I think that
No,
we've
it's
gotten
not.
too
I
far.
want to be clear about
Oh my
that.
God, because they bought land?
No. You can't
Okay,
just listen.
sorry. No, I'm going to finish my thought first. Well 6 needs some rehab. Well 6 is our lifeblood of our water. It is. I don't want to be a fearmonger. I'm not like that. I think that it will be fine. But we need to take care of it. It's stupid that we had to put hold on everything. We need somebody to take care of our stuff. And if Raleigh says he needs a part, then we should be recommending to City Council, please, continue taking care of our current system.
And that's why, so let me say this, that's why I said, every one of these issues can be separate, we can deal with them as they come to us. Yes, we need to keep well 6 up and going. If that's what we need to do, that's what we do.
There is absolutely no motion that has been made in the city council meeting that has said to put all projects on hold. The only thing that was made mention of was that well 8 should stop. We did not make a motion to stop well 8. All we did was not accept the bids. So this crap that we're hearing that the committee has made water project stop is absolutely false.
Well, then talk to the city staff, because they're all under the assumption that they can't do anything water. I talked to them last night after the council meeting.
There was a verbal commitment, yes,
Okay,
but there was
well,
no
they're
motion.
sticking to
There's
their
nothing
word.
in the way.
Well, they're sticking to their word.
The mayor made a verbal commitment on October 10th, and
Thank you.
at a very recent city council meeting that
He would
that
stop.
the city would not proceed until you guys had finished your work. But it was just verbal.
It was for
There's
But
something-
there's something to be said about them keeping their word, and they have, and I think that we need to be smart about this. Common sense says, let's take care of the stuff that's currently being used.
Well, I mean, that's the point, I mean, you know, whoever thought what, we just, if that is the preceding thing, if there's no motion, you know, yeah, there should have been, but if there wasn't, that's what they're all believing, so we just don't want things to completely come to a
Right.
stop. But somehow, I mean, we're all here trying to make it work for our
Yes.
community, so let's figure out what we gotta do to
Help
kind of
them.
keep things moving, I guess.
Tim, you came to the council meeting and said, I want a moratorium on the water project. No, we didn't vote on it, but we all sat up there and shook our head, and now we're keeping our word on it. So, that is what you asked for. We gave it to you. We gave you a committee. We want the committee to come up with recommendations, but enough. Just enough.
Okay, folks, so I have not done a good job because we've gone way over. I don't know, I could not step in and stop this, but this is a lot of good information. I think we have a lot to discuss. As far as projects in the future, I think we can address them as they come to us. I'm okay with that.
Can we agree that he can go back to the council or the rest of the council, call him and say, maintenance items should proceed? I mean, that's
Yes.
kind of a common sense kind of thing. Yes, you gave us your word to moratorium, whatever.
Right.
But I mean,
But
Basic-
current maintenance, that's a good
Yes.
way to put
current
it.
Current
maintenance
maintenance.
Okay,
items that,
Good.
you know, need to be.
I would hope that if there's a main break, and there probably will be at some point throughout the winter, that Raleigh doesn't feel like their hands are tied and they can't go out and
great.
repair it
I
because
I think that's
anything
different, but
you-
it's a $30,000 part, so I can see where they would think
Well,
that that's,
I get that.
Yeah.
I would
But
also
there's,
hope that shaking your head does not,
Right.
would not stop everything. I mean, I shake my head all the time. It's scary. I don't have that kind of authority.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, speaking of Raleigh, you know, I do want to address the fact Raleigh and Donovan and, well, their whole crew. You know, we were given water test results from the DNR last week. Those guys have done a great job keeping us within the parameters and receiving this Secretary's Award for 16 years. They and the city. I mean, that's commendable. Again, our current water situation, if you think we have bad water or not, is not the fault of them, it's the fault of all of us. And we need to step up to the plate and accept that fact before we can move on. Because we're gonna have to say, I'm willing to spend the extra dollar to go out here and get this higher quality water, right? Or whatever the case may be. We need to step up to the plate, we need to own the situation and not put blame on anyone on this. That's my
Should we
feeling.
quickly decide on our next meeting date?
Yep, and get out of here. So January 3rd or January 9th? January 3rd is a Wednesday, January 9th is a Tuesday. What date do you want to start with to pick up our every other 2-week schedule?
I can never do a second Tuesday.
and that's
So,
the 9th.
Is that the 9th?
Let's do Wednesday. I'm all for Wednesday, the 3rd.
Wednesday? I'd be okay with that because that's even 3 weeks away or whatever. I mean,
So
that's
it'll
still a
always
ways
be
away,
the
so-
first and third Tuesdays? Or no, not necessarily. If it's every other, it might change after 5 weeks. Okay.
Okay, so January 3rd, next meeting.
And then are we gonna go every 2 weeks from that?
Yes, yep, that's the
Okay.
plan. And
But
we will
back on
just
So then it
Tuesday.
would, but would you back on Tuesday?
on
or-
Tuesdays,
Back
not
on
Wednesday.
Tuesday, right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, on Tuesdays.
Yes.
And we will discuss the committees. We'll discuss that. That'll be the first item on the agenda that night. After that, we will have discussions and questions about tonight's.
Like on that conservation, maybe you could approach something with the city council and see if they were open to, you know, maybe see if
Using
we
that,
could-
okay?
Yeah.
opening a committee. It doesn't necessarily have to be us, this group, or maybe a few of us want to be on it, but I mean, you know, just having volunteers and different people that would come, because that needs to get
That
started.
needs to get
Exactly.
agreed.
And we can
Agreed.
use a lot of the
I think
material
one
from
of the
Sioux
most
Falls
important
already.
things-
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things on that next meeting's agenda is a timeline. We have got to know when we have to have information done. With that being said, there are going to have to be projects and committees working simultaneously, parallel to one another, to come to get all of the information we need at the very end. If we keep waiting, it's gonna keep pushing that timeline back and keep us all here longer than we wanna be.
Okay, so next meeting, we will get to this. We need to get out of here. Guys, can I have your attention for a second? We need to thank these guys, these
Yes,
folks.
thank you.
They've been willing to show up. And I say guys, I speak of you as well, Sarah. And I'm from the South, so I use the term loosely. But in all honesty, you guys, I hope you understand how much we appreciate your time and your information and your efforts. Meeting adjourned. We'll see you January 3rd.
Amanda, are you ready to log?
Can I send them to you guys?
Yes, we like that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Unless
You're
anyone
gonna
else
do
wants.
I will, can I steal your
She's
number?
amazing.
We have
I didn't
we need
take
2
your
reviewers.
That's okay. No, it's okay. If you have a question.
Okay, hey, listen, committee members, real quick, we need 2 reviewers. Trudy and
Kim.
I don't mind doing it.
Kim and
yeah.
Trudy, Amanda.
Okay.
And then you'll be in touch with Paul to get it on the city website. You'll use that same format.
I would send it to Pat too,
Use
because
the
he's
same-
our engineer piece.
Use the same format
Well,
that,
just,
They won't change it.
if we can just post it on the website, and then refer everything to our website, it's just one document.
As
So then we
opposed
don't
to
have
posting.
stuff going out. You know what I mean? We don't want to get too close to the
So I should use your document when I apply?
Just send it in an email for review, and then once it's finalized, I'll put it in the template as a PDF. We link it to our website, and then just refer to our website. And then continue on explaining.